Morning, everyone. Dave Kangas here, President Boise Working Together and spokesperson for Reject Boise Upzone. Well, the filing deadline has finally passed, so now we'll be able to see all the mayoral candidates and all of our city council candidates. I haven't looked that data up yet, but we'll be doing so this week. I thought it'd be a good time to talk about some city issues to look for from your candidates and maybe see if we can get some responses from candidates on where they stand on them. First of all, how about urban renewal? One of the downtown urban renewal districts is going to be sunsetting in 2026. So 50 plus years of urban renewal downtown. Does it keep on going? Do we keep updating them, or do we take and look at other areas of town that need the assistance that urban renewal can provide? That's a big factor. With the rewrite and the density, there are a lot of infrastructure issues in our older neighborhoods on the bench in West Boise and elsewhere. So what are we going to do about addressing those? Is it time to start defocusing on downtown and focusing on greater Boise? That's why we have districts. That's for our candidates to decide. Annexation. What about annexation out in southwest Boise in the area of impact? Mayor McLean just kind of shut that down, said we can't afford it. Didn't really see any analysis or, wasn't a discussion. So maybe we can't afford it, considering how many police and fire people we need to hire. And it also could have been a campaign issue looking to this election season. But really, Southwest Boise shouldn't be left hanging out there forever. There needs to be a plan. What are we going to do with the area of impact out there? Just let it languish? Or are we going to come up with a plan to start incrementally annexing out there? Along with that comes the issue of urban sprawl. The rewrite was sold that it's going to stop urban sprawl or control urban sprawl. That's an issue. Are we annexing? Is that urban sprawl? What is urban sprawl? I understand the broad definition, but in the context of Boise's boundaries, what is urban sprawl? Where does we consider it to be urban sprawl? Murillo Farms, that's a classic example of urban sprawl, but it seems to be getting, all the high fives and everybody wants it out there, even though 3,500 homes at the end of South Cole, when South Cole has not been broadened, the city has canned the idea of straightening Orchard extension to Lake Hazel. You've got Local, Basiri. You got a lot of development going on out there. That's going to be interesting without any services. Everybody out at the south end of Cole is going to end up going down to Walmart and Costco to do their shopping. And, if you've ever been in that area at a busy time of day, it really can't take a lot more traffic, but that's where they're going to go. Hiring police and fire. The police chief and the fire chief both met with city council earlier this year and said they need hundreds of additional police officers and firemen. How is that going to happen when we can barely meet recruiting standards as it is? Where's that money going to come from to massively increase both departments? What's the plan? How are we going to do that? Just keep increasing taxes to fund that? Is that the idea? Parks, open space, and municipal pools, public pools. How's Mergerdio Park ever going to get greened up? Is it time for another open space levy? Is there stomach for one? something that is focused south of the freeway, away from the foothills, because there's so much growth going on south of the freeway. Is it time to really start looking at how we're going to preserve open space or provide open space out in that direction? Public pools, South Pool and others. Is Boise going to invest in public pools? What's, going to happen there? Again, more money. And that rolls us right into spending overall. There's, Boise's a growing city. There's a lot of issues there, a lot of things that I've just highlighted that cost money. Urban renewal would start sunsetting at urban renewal district would start bringing in extra revenue to the city coffers. With affordable housing being the top priority for the city right now, how much money are we going to spend on affordable housing? What is the overall budget? What's the long-term debt for the city in these projects? They just approved $8 million to buy another apartment complex along with the other multiple projects that are in the works. One of the big issues over time with public housing has been the cost and the debt that saddles the city with, and how do they keep maintenance and keep it going? Who's going to be providing the property management? Just how much staff is Boise going to hire to deal with all these things? Those are all important issues to be looking at, and there's not a lot of discussion out there on them. Oh, and I almost forgot, libraries. Been pointed out that West Boise is definitely lacking a branch library. So what does that look like? Is there money out there somewhere for a standalone library, or does it make sense to look at some of the unoccupied office and retail space now that people have gotten used to working from home? I can see a branch library anchoring a office complex or strip mall, kind of like the Hillcrest Library does and Collister. Hillcrest has definitely been a success and been expanded multiple times. Is that the best option? So lots of things on the plate to be hitting up your city councilors for. That's why it's so important that as many of us get out and vote as we can. So please share this video, encourage your friends and friends on Facebook, next door. Get out and vote. Plan to vote. Do your research. That's it for now. More coming. Thank you.